Hey, what's cooking people, and welcome to another episode of MC Eats Life. Yes, that's right, no food on this show, just adventure. So today we're going to go to the highest point in Singapore, up Bukit Timah hill. I'm not sure what we're going to find. I think last time I went up there, I saw monkeys, I saw monitor lizards, and that was about it. I'm hoping, keeping our fingers crossed, that this time we might see some snakes. Let's go and find out. So, despite the fact that Mount Faber is called Mount Faber, and Bukit Timah is called Bukit Timah Hill, Bukit Timah Hill is the highest point in Singapore. And in a second I'll pan the camera around and you can see the hill that I've got to walk up. And it's fairly steep, and I might be out of breath by the top. So I don't know how well it will show on here, but the hill is fairly relentlessly steep, kind of all the way up. Other things to see here, there's a former quarry at the Hindhead Nature Reserve. You can walk around there and that looks beautiful. We might have a chance to have a look at there later. But in a minute, I'm just going to try. I'm already out of breath. I'm only taking about 10 metres worth of steps going up this hill and see what we can see. Just pausing for a moment with my mask off. It's quite a steep hill. So it says it's 1.2 kilometres up this hill to the summit, and that's where I'm going to head first, and then we can have an explore around the top once we get up there. Let's go. I really don't think the video does justice to how steep this hill is. It's a good workout for the legs though. First little point to sort of stop and take a breather. So we've got that bit to go. You might be able to hear the sounds of the woodland, and that's where we've just walked up that hill. But the sounds of the crickets and the cicadas, it's really loud. But now there's people have moved out of the way. I'm just on my own. It's much more peaceful. I mean, some of the scenery on the way is quite breathtaking. Look how tall and straight that tree is. And then under the tree, it then goes down into a valley filled with plants and probably all sorts of animals as well. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but I'm not normally one for sweating, but I've actually got beads of sweat dribbling down my face right now. I think mainly because of the humidity. There's a bit of a cool breeze and it's not that hot, but I think it's just pouring off me. So here you've got a choice. You can either take the summit path, 150 metres, or the main road up 540 metres. We are going to take these steps, but as you can see, it's not going to be easy. Hopefully we see something interesting on the way up though. Oh, I'm a bit out of breath. So, done the steps. I'm up on the summit now. Last time I was up here, there were a family of long-tailed macaques playing and a couple of lizards, big, long monitor lizards. So I'm gonna have a wander around, catch my breath, put my mask back on and see what we can find. So the evidence that I've made it to the top is behind me. So at the summit you've got the little rock that proves you've made it, and then you've got a couple of, I presume, like radio towers or mobile phone masts, which must cover the majority of Singaporean signal. And then you've got lots of people who are recovering from their climb up the hill, or just being very peaceful and quiet, catching their breath. So it's an old what I guess is the police repeater station. That's what it says there, isn't it? It's all closed off. I mean, the explorer in me would absolutely love to go and have a little rummage around in there. There's like a cage at the back. I'm guessing it was for the bins, but it looks like a primitive prison cell. Obviously I'm not going to get in because I don't want to get into trouble with the police. You see the cell at the back. Obviously I don't think it is a cell, but it could be, couldn't it? I think it'd be fun to go and spend the night in there, not in the cell, just having an explore. So I've had a chance to explore up here on the summit, and now I'm going to walk down the path, the road that I didn't walk up, and there's lots of trails off there. And I think those bits are going to be the bits that are really interesting. Just to go through those trails, see what we can see. If nothing else, we'll see some interesting plants and trees. But I am keeping my fingers crossed that we get some interesting wildlife as well. As you're walking through the nature, admiring the wildlife and the plants, and then there's just lots of people doing their exercise. They're walking down the steps, and then the other two have just finished walking up. I thought I'll wait for them to get out of my way, and they turn around and they walk back down again. So I think I'll just walk ever so slowly and let them get ahead a bit. Sometimes the sound of nature isn't enough for people. They have to bring their gangster rap with them. I think that's always something that's missing in the woodlands, is a bit of gangster rap. So this is one of the trails that comes off the main road, that sweeps up to the summit. But it's really quiet. It's nicely shaded. There's bits that are slightly uphill and downhill, but not too bad. And when you get away from the people with the loud music and the extra loud voices, it's lovely. Oh, there's some nice little white fungi. When you go down lots of steps like this, when you're on a hill, it doesn't bode well, does it? Because you know that if you want to be up near the top again, there's going to be the same as this, but going up in a minute. Whew. At least I'm getting my exercise. Just going to take a moment to appreciate the roots of this tree. Look at that, look how exposed they are. And then lots of people unfortunately have carved their names into it. It's a good old size as well. What a lovely tree. What did I say about the steps back up once you've been down? Whew. We have legs of steel. I'm still going. I've done those. Still got those left to do. Oh, let's hope this isn't another death on MC Eats. Halfway up the hill, and there's a very well timed little hut for a drink. It's the Jungle Fall hut. When it's like this is when I realise that this t-shirt is the wrong colour to wear on a sweaty day, but also it was an amateur mistake to get 500 mils of water and not more. At least I've got some there. I think I'm the wettest I've been in dry weather in Singapore. But having said that, like, I think cool sounds above me. Like, I could just walk through here all day. Like, despite the soaking wet sweat, it's just, it's quite magical, isn't it? I think any kind of woodland is. It's the sounds and the smells and the lack of people. And I suppose being somewhere hot and tropical, there is that chance that you might find something really interesting, really exciting. But even without that, it's just lovely to be outside. I think the days are probably gone when I was particularly excited by monitor lizards, but we haven't seen any great wildlife for a little while. I won't say no to spending a bit of time with a lovely example. Look at it just rummaging through the leaf litter and his little tongue going. I think when you get big lizards like this, it just shows you, gives you an idea of what it would have been like when we had dinosaurs roaming the earth. It really doesn't care that I'm here. It's just looking for some food. Be careful, it could be a trap. Alright, so now I've been up the steps to the summit and I've been down the path and then through one of the jungle walks, and now I'm going to walk down the path and see what we can find on the way back down. So the actual summit itself doesn't have much of a view, but if you come down from the summit and then walk up towards what's called the Reservoir Road, it looks down over the reservoir. So I'm going to take a look and show you the view in a second. So from up here you can look down and you can see the water, kind of beautiful dark green colour down there, and then there's a bit of a view, you can see quite far, but obviously it's obscured by the trees. And if you look this side you get a better idea of the kind of size of the quarry going down there. I think it's definitely going to be worth going to have a look down there in a minute and see what we can see. Wow, look at this cool, I don't know what it is, a branch, a trunk, spiky, but in that really kind of prehistoric animal kind of way. Goes all the way down, and then where does it go? And it goes, so is it growing out from there? Is it a tree that's grown from there and then up? Don't know. Very cool though. So there's a waterfall here on this cave path, but I mean, I don't know about you, but it looks entirely human constructed. Certainly this bit down here. I mean, somewhat takes away from the beauty in my eyes. This bit here where there's been a bit of a clearing created, man-made or natural, not sure, but it's alive with wildlife. There's lizards like keep darting in and out, and up here in the bit more obvious clearing there's bigger foliage movement, which is suggesting there could be some monkeys. And there is that telltale scent of monkey in the air as well. I'm going to stay around here for a moment and see if they'll come over. I was right, there's at least a couple up there. Can you see them just in the break in the trees? There's a few of them. Having a little wander. Probably come to see who I am and what I'm doing here. There's one right above me up here now. There they go. I thought there was some around. And you see them, they're not actually too bothered about me, they're just playing, aren't they? And then there's these two just in the trees just here. And there's a little one coming down the branch there. Oh, at least we've seen some monkeys today, if nothing else. I could smell their telltale kind of musk. Look at that. Ah. There's a whole family. Oh, there's one in there that's carrying a little one on its tummy as well. We'll see if the one that's carrying the little one's going to try and get over the branch. It seems to be waiting for the bigger ones to get out of the way. Should probably make sense if they're going to keep play fighting. Ah, there we go. And you see it carrying its little baby on its tummy. Oh, that's very cute. Now they've disappeared off into the undergrowth. They weren't out to get me after all. Look at the skink down there, skinking about as they always do. So well camouflaged. It's just having a little rummage for some food. Beautiful creature. I guessed, given that this is called Cave Path, that there would be a cave here, and there is. Should we shine a bit of light and see what we can see? Not much moving about in there, is there? We come a bit further and then there's another cave. And this one's got some daylight at the end. There's quite a collection of water down there, it's dripping down. And then you can see the daylight at the end. It'd be quite a fun tunnel to go through. Particularly if you can see the end, so you know you're not going to get too far, too trapped in there. I wonder where it comes out. At least once you've done all the walking up the hill, there's the walk down the hill. But actually, it's almost as much of a strain in your legs as going up. Some bits of this nature reserve and the area around here are really busy, but it's big enough that if you kind of go wandering, keep going up some paths, you keep going far enough, and then you get it to yourself, like I've got now. And I've got a break in the sun, a break in the trees and the coverage, and the sun's out. And you can hear the insects. And it's beautiful. I don't know if it'd be like this on a weekend, or I'm just lucky today because it's a weekday. But I do feel like I'm the only one in these woods. Oh. I had just about dried off, and I just walked up some steps and I'm drenched again. Arms, my chest, my face, everything is drenched. So this tree, this massive beast, it's called the red dup, and it's said that on this type of tree you can often see a female ghost sat on the branches fairly high up. I don't know if that bit's true, but it's certainly an impressively sized tree. So that brings us to the end of our time on Bukit Timah Hill, but as we're close to the reservoir I'm going to have a go and have a quick look and see if I can see anything interesting over there. I'm going to walk over from the hill through to the Quarry Nature Reserve. We've got some of our long-tailed friends. I wonder if these are the same ones we saw in the woodlands a minute ago. Yeah, I think they might be, because that one there, it's got its mum, it's clinging to its mum's stomach. Very cute. These little baby ones. The little baby ones. Very, very cute. So we made it to the quarry. It's very serene. There's a little turtle down here. Enjoying the log. So we were up here before, up there. It's a beautiful colour. A few more turtles down there swimming. Those ones seem quite happy. If you ignore the banging, it's very, very scenic. I don't know how to pronounce the name of this nature reserve. I would like to think it's pronounced Hindhead, because it makes me think of the place in on the south coast of England, which is blighted by, well, used to be blighted by traffic. I think they built a big tunnel there, Hindhead. But yeah, this is actually a little treat in here. It's more beautiful in here than I was expecting it to be. It's a little bit less manicured than where I've just been walking around in Bukit Timah. And I've seen the monkeys, so I'm pretty sure they were the same monkeys that I just saw in the other park. No extra wildlife here other than the turtles in the quarry, but it's just a little bit more rustic, and it adds to the sense of adventure, doesn't it? So that just about brings us to the end of this episode of MC Eats Life. It's been a pleasure. I've really enjoyed it. It's been peaceful, apart from when we've been subjected to loud gangster rap and people exercising loudly and just generally shouting. But other than that, it's been lovely. Coming over to the Hindhead Nature Reserve next door and seeing the turtles there is a real pleasure. It's been a hot one, I'm not going to lie, and it's a shame I haven't seen any snakes. Still only on that one snake in Singapore in almost a year. Got to try harder. Thank you very much for joining me. If you've liked this video, make sure you click subscribe, make sure you click like, make sure you click the little bell so that you get notified when we've got a new video up. Trying to do lots of little shorts when I'm out and about, so you might see little YouTube shorts pop up. Check those out as well. Let me know in the comments section below where I should go next and what I should try and find. So until next time, stay full.